and welcome to Dawn of War Dark Crusade. Now, excuse me, I put my son far away. Now, there's a thing to talk about. Mainly why I'm making this video and not putting out another Megabyte Punch that I have today. So, let's just start a new campaign on normal.
The planet Cronus. Beset on all sides by the tides of war, this once quiet colony became a savage battlefield. 7 armies clashed on this one world, each refusing to back down. Each convinced it was in the right. From beneath the sands of Cronus' central desert came the Necrons, ancient machines bent on eradicating all life. But another evil already had its eyes on the planet. From the depths of the war, the demonic forces of chaos arrived to enforce their claim. To oppose these fearsome powers, the planet's rulers in the Tau Empire sent their elite soldiers and sophisticated battlesuits into the fray. From the mighty Imperium of Man came the Imperial Guard, there to secure Cronus for the glory of the God Emperor. Like a green tide, the Orc horde descended on Cronus, caring little for others' claims and sowing destruction in its wake. The Eldar, ancient enemies of the Necrons, emerged from their webway to pursue their own agenda on Cronus. And last came the Space Marines, finest and most uncompromising of the Imperium soldiers. Seeing a world beset by aliens and heretics, they undertook a great purge. A dark crusade had begun. It could only end with the total victory of one of these factions, and the total defeat of all others.
Okay, that ends that. Now, this video actually, we're not going to get anything started. I'm just going to go through the races, and have you guys pick who you want me to play. Either the Chaos, the Eldar, Imperial Guard, Necrons, or Space Marines, and the Tau. This is also going to be a little announcement video. So if you guys know about the Warhammer 40k lore, which I doubt many of you do, but if you do, then you don't really, I guess, nothing I could really say would convince you otherwise, because you've probably played this game. But if you don't know about the lore, this will just I will inform you further than the cutscene did about each of these, 6, right? There's 6 in this game? No, there's 7 in this game, nice. 7 factions we can play as. But first, a small apology. So, to those who have been going to my streams, and to those who have been expecting videos, I haven't gotten any done in a while, because, well, Tuesday was falling asleep. That was my fault. But then, you know, timing was brilliant. I said 2 weeks, and I didn't realize what would have happened in 2 weeks, but first of all, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I spent time getting ready to move my computer down into a new room that I'm going to be inhabiting, which hasn't happened yet. So I started getting ready to do it, and then, oh, yeah, no, never mind, we're not getting that done, so that was 3 days wasted. As well as, apparently, this week, so that's for recording, but as far as streaming has been going, this week apparently, like, 5 months of sleep deprivation decided to all be paid back in the past 3 days, so I've slept more than 12 hours each one of these days, which is awful. So yeah, apologies. I do have more Megabyte Punch ready to go out. I'm just going to, and also, I forgot, tomorrow and the day after, I'm going to be out of state in Rhode Island, so actually I should pack. But yeah, so I'm going to be out of state for 2 days, and then, Wednesday, Cuboid Sandbox on Wednesday, so we're not going to have Megabyte Punch then. But Thursday we will be back, with Megabyte Punch, and, by then I hope you guys will have left comments on which race you want out of here, so that on Friday we can start actually playing this game. But, more of that for next time. So, that's what's going on. That's what has been going on. Now, as far as these races are concerned, the Chaos, I'll bet you've read this by now while you were listening to me talk. This is not important. We're Elephas, Black Apostle, Wordbearer Legion. I never paid attention to the Legion that he was. Yeah, so basically we're coming to corrupt Cronus, which is where we're trying to take, if you guys didn't pay attention to the thing. And we play as, here we go, the faction of the Chaos Space Marines, they're basically these guys, but demons, except, no, let's see here. What are their strengths? They can have all of their units invisible, or, well, the majority of them, the vast majority. What I tend to build my armies out of. They've got a lot of strong melee, and they've got pretty strong ranged. They don't have great artillery at all, though, so that's a big downside to them. And then their ultimate unit, I don't know if it's in this expansion that he does it. Their ultimate unit, though, as far as I remember, drains health when out of combat. So that's how that works. He also has a nice jump. They're a fun race. I'm pretty sure I've beaten this campaign with them before. Next, Eldar, my favorite race back when I used to play this game. I don't even remember how old I was. I used to play this a ton, though. It consumed the majority of my life. So yeah, Farseer, Taldir of Ulthway. Nothing much there. And so, Eldar. Now, when I said Chaos could stealth, or make most of their guys invisible, they make the greater half of their army invisible. The Eldar can make all of their buildings invis, and can stealth any of their units that are surrounding by webway platforms. So webway platforms, basically teleportation devices. Teleport guys all over the map. These guys are great for sneak attacks. Their Titan is, I'm pretty sure, inarguably the strongest in the game. I might be wrong, though. I know it used to be, back before the Necrons and Tau were added, which we'll talk about later. But, so their Titan is one of the strongest in the game, their ultimate unit. Other than that, do these guys have any other really good strengths? Oh, really strong range, really strong melee. No units that are really strong at both, though. So, they're really strong, but all of their really strong units are also really weak, and they're easily counterable. So that's how that works. Now, the Imperial Guard. These guys are much less, both of these guys have been pretty balanced as far as units and infantry go. These guys are not balanced in that respect. They are heavily weighed towards mechanized units and their buildings, which they can build a lot of, and are supposed to. Their buildings also allow for teleportation in between them, kind of like the Eldars, except the Eldar can only use webway gates to do that. These guys can use all of their buildings to do that. So that's very good. Not very good with this race. I'm pretty bad with the Imperial Guard, though they've got some interesting units. Their Titan also, first, he's boring. Their ultimate unit is just a big tank. It's a big tank, so it does what you would think a big tank does. It kills things. But there's a much cooler big tank unit that goes to the actual Space Marines. So their Titan's not all that good, though. He's pretty quick to buy and easy. Anything else about these guys? Oh, their infantry are they're like ridiculously easy to kill, and so you've got to get out of Tier 1 with them pretty quick and advance into Tier 2, or else you're going to get destroyed. Again, things I'm not very good with. Though turrets, Tier 1 you do have access to turrets, and their turrets are, if all of the turrets aren't the same, which I don't believe they are, then their turrets are on the better side. Necrons, I have beaten this campaign with the Necrons before. They are fun. Okay, these guys, first of all, their ultimate unit is their base, which they have to, as they progress through the tiers, when they get to, like, Tier 3 or 4, their base can actually activate into what's called the monolith, and so you can spawn units from it and teleport it around the map, and it is just a nexus of destruction, which is amazing. These guys have, kind of like the Eldar, not very much like the Eldar, actually. They've got one really good melee, they've got two really good melee units with no range, and then all of their range, like, even the first units they can buy are very strong range-wise. These guys are just probably, like, the most overpowered race in this game right now. Because also, their units have a chance to revive themselves, which is very useful and saves up a lot of, it doesn't save up a lot of requisition, it saves power, because out of the two resources here, power and requisition, these guys only use power, which is another nice thing. So yeah, this race is like easy mode, but they're also by far the coolest. And they also have like a semi-ultimate unit, which basically is your commander turns into this giant, like, basically the Reaper. The Reaper, but with black lightning. Yeah, he turns into that, and it's really amazing. Orcs. Okay. Now, Orcs are kind of like Orcs are the opposite of the Imperial Guard, because the Imperial Guard focus mainly on machines. These guys are pretty much all infantry. The majority of their vehicles, while useful, are very, very bad, with the exception of their Titan, which is, again, I think in the first, like the base game, lack of expansion, he was the 3rd strongest Titan. Now I think he's up there like 4th, maybe 5th, out of 7. So pretty middle of the road as far as Titans go. But the Titan can also hold units inside of it. And oh, one other thing. One other thing about the Necrons quickly. They can deep strike units, heavy units around the map, and we'll talk about deep striking later. But so what these guys can do is they can store units in their Titan, and then like basically roam their Titan over to the enemy base, and then drop out their units, which is very good because they have two very weak. They've got 2 very weak units that are like heavy DPS, glass cannons basically, heavy DPS, but very, very, very bad health and melee. 2 ranged units called Flash Gits. They can get 2 squads of these, and they melt buildings. It's brilliant. So yeah, you could just basically drive their Titan filled with Flash Gits into the enemy base, and these guys are a lot of fun. They do population differently, which is interesting, and they work mainly on hordes of guys. Also, they are very melee focused, and these are like a very rush race. So really, really good. Space Marines, not my favorites, but these are. They used to be the strongest race. I think Necrons got that now. Space Marines basically have they've got pretty much all up-in-your-face stuff. Very, very strong units. They don't have, like, a gimmick, though. Like, they're a very strong and balanced race. I think the most interesting thing they had were skeleton probes, and I think they took that out in this game. I'd have to check. But those were really, really cool. Their Titan is also just a big tank, though this time it's a big tank with plasma cannons. Again, they've got good ranged, they've got good melee, they've got good vehicles. They're pretty much a very good all-around race, but they can also deep strike. That's the thing. They can build a building that allows them to put units inside it and then drop them around the map, which is very, very nice and interesting, what you get to do with that. I still have skeleton probes. Skeleton probes are basically just one very small stealth unit with, like, no health. The purpose is to throw him somewhere on the map and then use him to call on deep strikes. Space Marine's kind of cool. And we're going to spawn into a map, and each of these are right near someone. So Space Marines right near the Eldar, they'd probably be our first target. Necrons right near the Tau, and right near the Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard right near the Necrons. Tau right near the Necrons, right near the Orcs. And these two are close to each other, and vice versa. And this guy is closest to the Imperial Guard and the Orcs. So those are who you'd think we were fighting. If you caught all that. If not, rewatch it and then just kind of maybe follow my... I don't know. That's how that works, though. Tau, okay. Interesting race, to say the least. They're split kind of into 2 groups. Now, when I said that some of these guys were really good at one thing and others were really good at the other, these guys are a very extreme way of putting that, because they are very much, you can go full-on into melee, and you can just use their melee troops, or you can go full-on into ranged and only use the ranged troops. Actually, you could use a mixture of both, but their gameplay discourages it. And so, they've got it so much that these guys, the Tau Empire, are a commander of 2 different... Our commander, is, like, they control 2 separate races. They control, the Tau guys, and then they control other people called Kroot guys. Kroot are good for melee, and they're like they're like animals and beasts with like very crude, long-range weaponry that doesn't work very well, and are good at beating stuff up. Their Titan is also one of the Kroot, who's just a big dinosaur. He is the weakest Titan in the game. Easy to build, doesn't cost very much, very weak. But basically he's a big dinosaur. And then the long-ranged guys, all very, very powerful. very, very good at long ranged, and heavily emphasizes the use of their vehicles, which they've got some pretty cool ones. They've got, if you want to go the way I play them, I always play them very ranged heavy with, one of their vehicles is melee, and he's very, very good at melee. These guys are an amazing race, though, nonetheless. As far as I would rank them in how good they are, Necrons, Eldar, Chaos, Tau, Necrons, and I'd say Necrons and Eldar, or no, Necrons, Eldar and Chaos would be a tie for second, because they're both very strong. Tau and Orcs would be a tie for third, and then, yeah, I'd tie these guys for fourth. So, think of who you would want me to be, and destroy the other guy's ass, because we'll probably win this. Pretty much undoubtedly, I don't think I'd lose. But, if we did manage to lose, then that would be ridiculous. But who do you want to see me win as? And what other nations do you want to see fall? And, based on what you guys say, if you say anything, if I don't get any comments in the next, like, 5 days, then I don't know what'll happen. I won't do this then. I probably will. I'll probably just default to, like, Eldar. But, yeah. So say what you guys want me to play in the comments, and, I don't know how long this video has run, but we're done here. So, thank you all for watching this. I look forward to seeing your guys' decisions, and get ready for a large war. And those of you who don't know, who didn't see my Dawn of War video previously, this is Dawn of War Dark Crusade, the campaign. This should have gone in the beginning of the video. The Dawn of War Dark Crusade campaign we're going to be playing through. It's an RTS, and the hub world thing is its own kind of tabletop thing. Kind of a board game, which is fun. It's definitely a fun interface to work with. And so, the majority of people like this. This is regarded as the best campaign in the Dawn of War 1 series. Actually, I don't know how people liked the Dawn of War 2 campaigns. I liked them a ton, but I don't know. This might even be considered the best campaign in the Dawn of War series in general. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll be back Wednesday with Keyboard Sandbox, then Thursday with Megabyte Punch, and then Friday, hopefully, with the first episode of this. Thank you all for watching.